All right, welcome back to Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. This is our GMC tweet of the night. Look at that, year 1 to year 13. Cam doesn't look that much different. 97.
Yes, he does. Don't lie. He looks a lot different. I see gray in the beard there. I see he's let his beard go. He doesn't have that nice trimmed up goatee anymore, Richie. He looks a lot different.
Did you ever think he would be the player he is right now when they drafted him?
I liked the pick when it happened. He had to wait his turn because they had so many good defensive linemen at the time. And I remember him sitting behind Brett Kiesel. And eventually, when given the opportunity, Cam burst out and ended up being, he's going to go down as one of the best defensive linemen in Steelers history, which is saying a lot given the history of this franchise. But did I think he'd be this good and play for this long? No, I did not. I mean, he's exceeded my expectations as a late first-round pick. An incredible career. He's shown no signs of slowing down. And he's one of the reasons why I like the Steelers this year, because not only is he a vocal leader on defense, but he backs it up with the way he plays.
Yeah, the Steelers hit a couple home runs on some late picks there with Cam Hayward and T.J. Watt, to name a couple there. Let's go out to Will in McKees Rocks. It's our #1 Cochran call of the night. Will, what's up?
Hello, Will.
Hey, how are you guys tonight?
Good, thanks for calling.
Thank you for taking my call. I wanted to talk about the cuts today, and I was wondering if you gentlemen were surprised that General Olszewski made the club.
You know, I was a little bit, Pony, but if they were keeping 6 wide receivers, they were keeping him. I just don't know what they see in him. I know they like him on special teams, but he really can't help the receiving group. I mean, he's not going to help the offense at all. They put Miles Boykin in there before him. I still question that move, but maybe if they need a backup return guy, if Calvin Austin gets hurt, you need a guy like him.
Yeah, I saw it coming. I thought that this was, they brought him in last year to be more involved in the offense. We learned that he was not that type of player. He was not good enough. There's a reason why New England moved on. Belichick's pretty good about recognizing when a player has pretty much used up his prime or best years. But they kept 7 receivers last year, so they've kept this number or more in the past. He is someone that fills out that Danny Smith special teams lineup. When he went into the preseason games this year, he actually was productive. He caught a lot of footballs from guys like Mitch Trubisky and Mason Rudolph. So yeah, 53 guys. When I went through the roster exercise, I thought he was going to make the team. I think Boykin's a better special teams player, but there was room for both guys on the team. Now that the Steelers have moved on from special teams guys like Derek Watt, Tanner Muse didn't make the team. Yeah. This was a guy who I thought they'd keep as Benny Snell gone as a special team stalwart.
Yeah, Benny Snell got cut today, too. No surprise. The one surprise that I saw on this roster, maybe Dylan Cook, the offensive lineman, he probably made the team because of the moves that they made. I thought they were going to keep Dotson, and I thought they might have kept that Ryan McCollum over Dylan Cook too.
Richie, if you actually watch, and I know many of our viewers or listeners on our simulcast at the Fan do this, if you watch preseason games from beginning to end, you get a real sense for what their roster moves are going to be. For example, guys like Gentry and Braden Fayoko, who they cut, who they brought in from the Chargers, who was the one defensive lineman who got shown the door. These were guys that were playing very late into these preseason games. And I remember with Gentry especially, I'm like, oh my God, there's 2 minutes left in this football game, and he's still out there with guys who are going to get cut. And then sure enough, he's gone. Trey Norwood was in at the end of the Atlanta game. Guys that were maybe in the last couple of years, they were maybe out there getting worked in with starters or second-team units because you wanted to see how they fit in. Norwood started week 1 a few years ago. Gentry was the number 2 tight end, and those guys, just Tomlin's usage in the preseason, I think tipped his hand with those veteran players. Well, and Riley beat out Norwood. Yeah. Elijah Riley, who came on late last year, and is an Army guy. He's known for his intelligence and work ethic. That's what the Service Academy kids do. Showed his versatility, had an interception, can play the slot, can play safety, made tackles on special teams. I think he showed Tomlin that was one of the few, I think, like last roster battles that they let play out. And Norwood's injuries I think probably forced the Steelers to send him to the practice squad because I don't think another NFL team will pick him up. But I think Riley just does more right now and can help him in that third phase of special teams.
Yeah, a lot of these guys will make the Steelers practice squad. I'm assuming that we're going to find out the practice squad players tomorrow when the Steelers go back to practice over on the south side. Right now, we got to go back to a break. Back in a couple of minutes with more of your phone calls. 412-575-2600 is the number.